Hello friends, welcome back to my channel if you're returning. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Rachel and I'm a reseller on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And today I'm sharing my top 15 sales of week 4, October 2023. Plus I'm going to discuss my number one Poshmark pet peeve. So if you want to see my top sales and you want to hear my pet peeve, definitely stick around. So just a little housekeeping item for November and December. I have decided, because I plan on taking some time off, we've got the holidays in there, and I just in general have a backlog of videos that I want to show you between unboxings and 90-day updates. I am going to only do the top videos for week 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So instead of having 4 videos a month for each week, I'm going to do 2 videos each month with 2 weeks at a time. And I'll do a top 25 instead of a top 15 to show you more sales. But I am going to just do 2 videos per month instead of the 4. If all goes well, we'll resume the weekly in January. But for now, in an effort for me to get caught up and take a little time off, we're going to just do 2 per month for the time being. So that being said, if you like reseller content, certainly consider subscribing to my channel. I've got lots of unboxings coming up for this month, and I've got a ton of 90-day updates coming up. We're a little behind, and I want to get caught up on those 90-day updates as well, because there's some really good ones in there. And hit that like button if you find this kind of content helpful. That really helps out my channel a lot as well. Okay, so before we get into the top 15, I really just kind of, vent or discuss. I guess I don't know what the right word is, but I want to share with you my Poshmark pet peeve, my biggest pet peeve. Actually, it's probably my biggest reseller pet peeve in general, if I'm being honest. And I really would like your take. Let me know down below how you feel about this or how you stand on this subject. If you want to get right to the top 15, I'll put the timestamp here of where to skip to. But I want to talk about this first. So my Poshmark, or quite possibly my reseller pet peeve in general, but it specifically happens on Poshmark. I don't see this happen on eBay really, or Mercari. It's just like specifically on Poshmark. People that message me asking when I'm going to ship something. And like, I don't know why this bothers me so much, because ordinarily customer service is a part of what we do. We answer questions, we deal with feedback and returns and like all that. And I get that. And I don't necessarily mind that part of it. It's just that one specific, like, hi, when will this ship? Hi, will you ship today? Hi, I need this by Friday, or like whatever. Like it drives me wild. Like, and it's not even that, okay, it's been 3 or 4 days and the item isn't tracking. It's, I purchased this and within a couple of hours, I'm getting a message of when will this ship, or literally the next day, like, when will this ship? Okay, on Poshmark, sellers have 7 days to ship. Poshmark shares, and I'll show you mine. It's like 1.6 or 1.7 is mine. Poshmark shares their every seller's average ship time. Not that customers stop and look at this before they buy, or even after they buy, if they want to know when an item is going to ship. I get that. I totally get that. But like, seriously, it's almost every single day I get a message like this on Poshmark. And I think that's why it's driving me crazy, because it happens so often. Like, please don't tell me when to ship. Please don't ask me when I'm going to ship. I have, maybe it's just me and maybe this is why, but like, I have a little baby and I still make sure my packages get to the post office 5, maybe 6 days a week. And I know that customers don't know that. And more than likely, they've probably purchased on Poshmark and had a bad experience with waiting on an item and like it never ships at all, or they don't hear from the seller for 5 or 6 days. I know that happens. You would think though, like, if it was going to happen on Poshmark, it would happen on eBay, it would happen on Mercari, and it like doesn't. It's just Poshmark. And I've probably said this before, I am not a fan of the direct message feature on Poshmark. I guess maybe it's a little bit like different now that there's the partial refund option, which I don't really love that either. But before even that was a thing, literally you gave buyers the option to message the seller when the seller can do nothing for them. If you're not happy with an item, you have to open a case, and Poshmark has to make a decision. I don't get to decide to give you a refund. I don't get to decide to allow a return. I don't get to decide whether, like, there's nothing to talk about unless you're going to open a case. So why are you, Poshmark's taking the same amount of fees, right? And yet they're taking away their responsibility to handle that stuff and leaving it on the seller, but not empowering the seller to do anything. And like I said, there's that partial refund option now. That's something very new, which that's a whole nother story. So I guess there is like some empowerment if there's an issue now. But quite frankly, the only messages I get on Poshmark really are, when will this ship? When will this ship? When will this ship? And of course, I always answer, and I always answer politely, right? But it just bothers me. It just bothers me for some reason. So, rant over. Please let me know how you feel about this. If it bothers you, if it doesn't bother you. I really am just genuinely curious to know if that bothers anybody else as a reseller, or if you're a buyer. Maybe you can lend me some perspective here too that might ease my frustration. If you're a buyer and you send these messages to the people you buy from, or you have in the past asked people, when will this ship? Please give me some perspective as to why, or what makes you kind of feel like you have to ask, or what makes you feel like that person's not going to ship in a timely manner. If you've had experiences with it, please let me know. I'm really genuinely curious. Like, it is frustrating, but just the volume of it on Poshmark specifically, like, piques my curiosity of like why this happens. So yeah, definitely let me know. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get into our top 15 most profitable sales of October, week 4. I would say it was a pretty good week. I would say October was a pretty good month, although I guess, and maybe this is just me and you'll have to let me know this too. I feel like I have been listing a ton of stuff. And my sales have stayed about the same, but the amount of items I'm listing has definitely gone up. So I would really expect, like, naturally that the amount of sales I'm making has gone up, but I haven't necessarily seen that increase in revenue compared to the increase in listings. So you'll have to let me know how you're doing, if you've kind of experienced this, or maybe it's, you know, just part of the seasonality and things will pick up here in November, December. So let me know what you think, or how it's going for you. But here's the top 15, and what I am selling has been decent. So number 15 is the modern loafers from my Everlane Flats and Loafers box. I paid $24.30 and I sold them for $50 on Poshmark. Cost of goods was a bit high, but still a $50 sale is pretty good. I'm still almost doubling my money after the fees, so that's not bad at all. The next one is the Mykonos one-piece swimsuit from Andy. Helps you source. So I made a killing with the Andy swimsuits over the summer. I think I bought a box in like May, and it was literally the best mystery box I have ever in mystery box history. Like, really. I can link that video down below if you want to see it. I'll link the 90-day update. I think I like quadrupled my money in 90 days, or maybe even less than that. But anyway, Helps You Source restocked those Andy swim boxes, and I decided to get another one. I understand it's not going to give me the same results this time of year, but come April, May, when people start swimsuit shopping again, I've got a whole nother box of them. But I did sell one. This one was only listed 2 days, and it was a $50 eBay sale. I paid $8.50 per piece from that box, so that was actually a very, very good sale. And hey, if a few of these sell off over the winter, people, you know, people still need swimsuits for various reasons in the off season, and they're harder to find in stores in the off season too. So I may still make my money back before the spring even gets here on that box, which is pretty cool. Then I had a pair of relaxed straight jeans. These were from Everlane, from my second Everlane men's denim box. I paid $10.80 per piece. These were listed about 4 weeks, and they were a $50 eBay sale. from my Everlane sweaters box, which is due for a 90-day update. And actually, I think almost all of them are sold now. I have like maybe just 4 or 5 left. This was $12.29 per piece at the time. I know that box, if and when you can catch it available, is much more expensive now. But at the time, I paid $12.29 per piece, and this was a $50 Poshmark sale. Also, an Everlane sweater. This one was from my Everlane secondhand box, which I really liked this box too. This sweater looked brand new, maybe new without tag. It was being sold to me as secondhand, so I listed it as secondhand. $7.58 per piece was my cost of goods, and it was a $50 Poshmark sale also. This next piece, there's a little story time behind this. So this month in October, in an effort to sort of clear out some older inventory, I sold some mystery boxes on my Poshmark. And I know that mystery boxes can be a little taboo, especially like reseller to reseller, and people feel ripped off, and quite frankly, buyers are kind of brutal sometimes if they don't like what comes in the boxes. So I didn't really advertise them. And I hesitated to even list them. But the good news is I did sell, I think 6 or 7 of them, and all of them came back 5-star ratings. So yay, that's exciting. And if you want, I listed them by size. So I did like extra small, small, medium, large, whatever. I think everything is sold out except for the extra small and the small, which quite frankly, side note, those are going to be the best bundles if you're looking to resell, because I have the best selection, and the most valuable stuff is what's in my smaller sizes. But those are the ones that no one bought. So those are the ones I still have. But anyway, full disclosure, it is a lot of merchandise that I've listed and hasn't sold. I do these 90-day updates, and then I need to make room for more stuff. So it's not necessarily stuff that's been sitting like a really long time. It's just stuff that, once I've proven that 90-day point, it's time to move it, because my room over here is busting at the seams. So I figured there might be some resellers looking for inventory, and I listed them for $60 for 5 pounds. Anyway, I had marked off a bunch of stuff in my inventory that I was going to put in those boxes should one of those boxes get purchased. That way I knew I had enough stuff to make 5-pound increments of each box, right? And this next sale, so funny, I was about to put this in a 5-pound mystery bundle and sell it for maybe $8 or $10 when all was said and done. And it ended up in the top 15 countdown because nobody had bought a size small box. Don't worry, I still have plenty of size small if you do want a small box, but this was in that bucket of inventory to go in the mystery bundles, and it finally sold. This was a pickup. We visited my in-laws in Florida, and I went thrifting down there one day at a Salvation Army down there, and I picked this up for $5.38 was my average cost of goods for that trip. I did pick up a few things. It was this Ralph Lauren black sequin jumpsuit, and it was beautiful, gorgeous, perfect for maybe a more mature wedding outfit, like a wedding guest, or maybe some sort of corporate holiday party. I don't know. It was just very, very chic and nice, and it sat here for a while. I bought it back in February, and all of a sudden it sold. It sold on eBay for $50.99. Plus the buyer paid $14.50 in shipping. So could have had it if you bought a size small mystery box. Instead, it ended up on my top 15 countdown. So that's so funny to me. Anyway, moving on. The next one up is the modern loafer from Everlane. So I think I've sold all the loafers from that Everlane shoebox. These were black in a size 8. This person actually purchased a bundle of 3 pair of Everlane shoes. So the cost when I took out, I always take the amount of the bundle and the amount added up for the items all together, and then take an even percentage off of each item as a bundle discount. So this one technically was $54.72 that they sold for. I did have to upgrade the label to a 6-pound label, which, pro tip, if you win the Lover List Challenge, you get $50 in Poshmark credit, which I told you guys last week. I always list on Wednesdays and Saturdays a few items every hour. in hopes of winning the Lover List Challenge, because I've won it a few times. Well, like the day that video went live, I won the Lover List Challenge. So when you need to upgrade your label, it pulls from your Poshmark credits. So if you win the Lover List Challenge and then you need to upgrade your Poshmark label, the money comes out of that credit balance. So I didn't actually pay for, long story short, I didn't pay for the label upgrade of $4.50. So I didn't count it in my inventory. But pro tip, if you find yourself upgrading labels, just let your credits sit there and that will take care of it. Next up, from my Boutique by the Box Nookie box, this is the Lust one shoulder midi dress. This one sold for $55 on eBay. So very happy to see those Nookie dresses selling. Then up next is this long sleeve crew neck sweater from the Everlane Sweaters box. That box, I listed it in August and a lot of things sold very, very quickly. And then there was this like lull where the like 1/3 of sweaters that were left, they kind of just sat and sat and sat. Like it went from like everything sold fast to now it's just going to sit and get no attention. And now finally the rest of them seem to be selling off. So that's great. But this one, $12.29 per piece. And this was a $55 Poshmark sale. Next up are these 90s high-rise loose jeans from Redone, from my new without tag outlet Redone box. This box was a high cost of goods, $35.40 per pair of jeans, but it was a $65 Poshmark sale, so I did still make a decent amount on those. Then there were a pair of cotton utility pants from Everlane. This particular style has shown up in the Everlane women's pants box a couple of times, and it seems to be like, I would think the most sought after, just based on how I've done with them. One of the most sought after styles out of that Everlane assortment. So $12.75 per pair was my cost on them. And they sold on Poshmark for $67 by offer, which means I listed them for $75. Yeah, these were only listed for a week. So I listed them for $75, sent offer to Likers, which is what dropped it to $67. And then the discounted shipping was added to that. This is my favorite sale of the week. Hands down favorite sale. This is from my naked wardrobe box from Boutique by the Box. And I really wasn't sure what to make of that box when I first opened it. But actually this stuff is selling decently. It's moving along. And this is in the top. This is number 4, my fourth highest sale of last week was the pink ribbed jumpsuit. And this was a Mercari sale, and I don't know what it was. And it's just funny how Mercari does this every once in a while. This jumpsuit, people went nuts over this jumpsuit on Mercari. Like when it first listed, I got like a ton of lowball offers. I listed it pretty much the same day, maybe like a day later on Posh and a day later on eBay. I mean, no interest there. Like Mercari blew up about this jumpsuit, and I think I listed it for $100. And I went back and forth with this one girl who like really, really wanted it, and she kept, this is all I can afford. This is all I can afford. I'm like, I'm not selling it to you for $50 or whatever. I don't remember. We went back and forth like 8 times, and finally we settled on $70. I am a firm believer that your first offer sometimes will be your best offer. So I didn't want to push it too far and like end up sitting on it because I was asking too much. But I also didn't want to take 50% on it when it was just listed and getting that much attention. So we settled on $70. She messaged me. She said she loves it. All is great. Okay, top 3. This was from my Helpsy Fall and Winter women's box, but this is nothing to do with fall and winter, I don't think. This was a formal gown from the brand Thea, and that box, my cost of goods was $3.18, and this dress sold on Poshmark for $71. I think I listed this one much higher, but it didn't really have a lot of interest. So when somebody offered me $71, I was like, hey, let me go ahead and take that. That's still a really decent, and that would be probably my highest profiting sale if you consider my cost of goods was only $3.18. So very happy with that sale. The last 2 are from my Everlane Sweaters box. I had 3 of these. This was the second one to sell. I still have 1 left. This is the Stroopwafel turtleneck, $12.29 into a $74 Poshmark sale. And the number 1 sale, also from that Everlane Sweaters box, the oversized black turtleneck. This one, $12.29 into $80 Poshmark sale. This one I had listed a lot higher than too. I think I listed this one at $149, but again, probably too high because it took a while to sell. Finally settled on $80, $12 into $80. I will still take it. All right, so that is the top 15 for last week. Like I said, expect for November and December for the videos to be bi-weekly. Twice a month I'll do an update, but I'll do 25 items for each video, just so I can have a chance to take a little break, catch up on the 90-day updates and the unboxings that I already have waiting to show you. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see, and I can't wait to show you some of these unboxings and these 90-day updates. They're got some really good ones coming up. Hit that like button on the way out if you are still here and you haven't already. That really helps out my channel. And that's it for today, friends. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in a couple weeks.